afternoon. And we're so glad you're here because I see we have people from different time zones. And today is the day that we're going to share where we are with our projects and journeys. Each team is going to share. And then Greg is going to share with us some of our next steps for your displays when you come to Washington, D.C. and your team video. And that's pretty much what we're going to do. We're not going to do a connection circle because we are going to hear from all the voices in the room. We're going to ask each team to try to really give us the gist, just because we are anticipating having quite a few teams share each session. So we're saying 5 to 8 minutes max for sharing. And then we want a little time for people to give you some comments and questions. So without further ado, is there a team that would like to share first?
Y'all should share the gist of what we're doing. Y'all want to go first? I have the survey results right here.
Okay.
I think somebody might be unmuted that doesn't want.
That's DuPont. We'll go ahead and go first.
Is that DuPont?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So we're going to hear from DuPont Middle School first from Jacksonville, Florida.
Sorry. Hi. I'm Miss Stevenson. So what our prototype is a game room. So it will a chill room for the kids where they can go during school, during like their lunch period or before school, where they can hang out with friends, play video games, make TikToks, whatever they want to do, so they could bring them together and more engaged in school as well. So we do have a little sneak peek behind us of our prototype as well. Oh, sorry. So I don't know. Camera's frozen. Oh, it's frozen? I think so, yeah. Sorry, our camera's frozen.
We can hear you, but your camera's frozen.
Our Zoom isn't working right now. I'm sorry.
It may take us out, but we'll come back in as soon as it comes up.
No worries. You guys do what you need to do from a technology perspective on your end. We can only hear you. Your video is frozen, but we hear you well.
Yeah. So basically, can you still hear us?
We can hear you.
This is Miss Lane. I'm another member of the team. And basically we created a survey asking students what they wanted to see in this chill room. But right now we're calling it the chill room, but part of the survey is also asking what the students would like it to be called. We feel like having a survey asking our students what they want to see in it, what they want it to be called, when they want to use it, will create a greater sense of ownership and ultimately a greater sense of camaraderie, so that when they use it, they will feel like they had a hand in creating this safe and welcoming space. So we've had a lot of things that are working really well and that are easy to come up with. And then we also have hurdles. I don't know if we're talking about that yet, but we're feeling confident that even with the hurdles that this is going to work well and that our students will enjoy the space. We've had a lot of responses to the surveys. We've had a lot of questions about the survey, which, just basically we've had a lot of engagement with it. So I'm feeling really positive about what we have going on so far.
Okay, we're gonna show you around room. Miss Stevenson has hers working out. I think she'll be able to show you around.
So I'm gonna
Sorry.
pin Stevenson so we can see big, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Great.
So this is the room here. We have a bureau back here and name on the tables. And then back this way, sorry. For the wall, we have our LED lights and a mirror. We're still working on some stuff, getting some more designs and pictures and stuff up for the students as well. We also have back here, some arcade games for the students to play as well. Oh, I'm sorry, can you see the arcade games?
We can. You're doing a great job. There's a
Alright.
little echo. I think maybe one of the other people might still have their audio on, but we can see you're making it work.
And then we also have our foosball table as well for the students to play foosball, a little old school, but they do love it. And then over here, we have our PlayStation area where the students can play video games that they like as well. Oh,
And then, so a lot of these things have been donated to us, but I'm sure people are wondering like, well, where are we getting the funds for this? And we're working on a donors choose page. I don't know if y'all know what that is, but we're working on a donors choose page so that people can, donate to us, and hopefully it'll get the ball rolling even more. And we'll have more seating, and it'll be a really comfortable spot for the students.
Are you guys open for questions and comments at this time?
Absolutely.
All right, so we have questions and comments for the DuPont Middle School team.
I don't have any questions. I just have a comment. I think that the space is looking awesome. And I was showing my students that I'm in the room with so that, just getting ideas on redesigning some spaces here and the thoughtfulness around listening to what students are saying and what's important to them and then getting that in the space. So I think it's awesome. So I just wanted to share that.
thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. This is the space for that. Comments are just as valued as questions.
So I have a question. Just actually, it's kind of a logistical question about how you would, that's a great room. It's really nice. And we've been working on a similar room like that. And I guess I'm just wondering how you're going to present that at the design showcase. Are you going to take a video of it, or? Because I'm just I'm thinking now about how we're going to present these things. And
Definitely gonna be incorporated, but I think also showing how we got there, showing the survey, showing, all the elements of not just like the product, but how the product was created. I think we should have a video of the students presenting how, really the idea was the students. So.
And Katie, we're going to talk more about the visuals after each of the teams share. So that is going to be a space also where they're going to be able to, and you're going to be able to kind of bring to life some elements of what you may not find to be portable to bring along. Any other thoughts from the DuPont Middle School team that you would like to share? Any challenges or any places that you're stuck?
That we're stuck?
Yeah.
One of the hurdles we're currently figuring out is when the students can use the room. Of course, the room's beautiful and the idea is excellent, but right now we're kind of figuring out, one of the ideas has been we can use it on half days, but then that would only be, 1 day a month for a handful of students, and we want the entire student body to feel ownership. We want the whole body, we are creating a welcoming environment. So making sure that our students don't feel like they had a hand in creating something that they don't get to use. We want to make sure that they not just feel that they can use it, but are actually able to use it. And obviously it can't be as regularly as they want to, but hopefully we could get there. But we're kind of figuring out when are the students going to be able to use it. That's really I think the only hurdle that we're coming across.
So it seems like a wonderful opportunity, right?
Absolutely.
to really cycle back around through your getting greater perspectives and empathy interviews and survey idea again, right? Because just as you co-created the room, perhaps you can co-create how the room will be of service and get lots of multiple points of view and see what might emerge from that.
Absolutely. I'm glad you said that. That's actually part of the survey that we're collecting from the students. So we're excited to see where that goes.
Well, we really appreciate you guys being willing to go first. We think your room is amazing. And we're gonna turn it over to the next team that is ready to share.
We can go next.
Who is we?
We is New Meridian High School.
Thank you.
We have a little Google slideshow. I'm really scared to share my screen because I have 80 emotional support tabs up and I have no clue what I might be sharing, but I can try to share.
Be
If
brave.
that works. Okay, we're gonna go, let me see. Yes. Okay. Are you guys able to see this?
We can.
Okay, perfect. So I'll kick us off and then the kids will jump in. So we're New Meridian High School in the St. Vrain Valley School District, which is the 7th largest school district in the state of Colorado, and we're about 30 minutes north of Denver. Okay. And here's our design team. So I'll let the students introduce themselves. Maggie.
Hi, my name's Maggie Raleigh.
Hi, I'm Trish Melanson.
I'm Noah Javits.
And Brooke could not be here today, and two of our teachers who are part of this team, they are currently teaching, and I am Tony Jo Nicolai. I'm the principal helping the students with the project.
Tony, I'm
So,
here.
oh, you are, Steph? I didn't see one. Sorry, I switched the screen. Can you guys still see? Let me see. Thanks. And Stephanie's here, so she can introduce herself.
Hi, I'm Stephanie. I am one of the teachers at New Meridian. I do math and art.
So our mission at New Meridian is just to provide our students an inclusive and, we would say, transformative educational experience where we feel that they're empowered to kind of navigate their future and choose their journey in a world that continues to change. So some of our celebrations are,
We've had an increased graduation rate 8 years in a row. Students report feeling safe and valued and included in the school community. And students have reported feeling supported by their teachers.
so when we were thinking about which of the two options to select, I think you guys decided fostering connections because, do you want to elaborate, Trish, or not?
We picked Fostering Connections because we're a small school. There's not a whole lot of opportunities for our students to bond and connect. We don't have any extracurricular activities. We don't have sports. We don't really have a whole lot of clubs. We don't do your typical homecoming or prom, none of that, where students go and intermingle with themselves and just talk amongst themselves in different groups that they typically wouldn't. So with that being said, we kind of have to force those connections in a kind of way, making different activities in our version of advisories, talent time. So like little games, just bonding activities, putting art up on the doors, stuff like that.
Yeah, so they felt like students here at this school are really connected to their teachers and love their teachers, but how could we be more intentional with the time that we have together to truly plan for student to student interaction? So some of the challenges just include how we enroll students at our school. We enroll students every 9 weeks, and students come to us from 11 different district high schools or homeschool or charter schools or placements, or students from neighboring districts. And our school in particular, we take in students from 4 different counties, and sometimes those are very polarized counties, and everyone kind of collides on our campus, which can be a great thing. So with the influx of having new students and then seniors leaving and having such a small enrollment, we're sometimes losing our key leaders. And the students want to find a way to be very intentional about building up those leadership opportunities and doing things to keep the school connected amongst all of those challenges. So our goal is, do you want to do goal?
Our goal is to develop a system of support to strengthen student connections and in a positive way, and not try to make it feel like it's forced for the student. Make them feel comfortable going and intermingling, feeling comfortable to talk to the students that are upperclassmen, and really just make it more of a comforting environment and more of a supportive environment to get them all to.
So when we started the research process, this team decided to focus on interviewing students who were brand new to our school at Q3, which means they started with us on January 9th. So they were able to get real-time information from students who were brand new to the school and maybe didn't know anybody. So you want to talk about the interview process, Trish or Maggie?
Yeah, so the interview process, we asked questions that were.
They have papers everywhere over here.
We do. Okay, well, the interview process, we asked questions that were kind of like, tell us a little bit about yourselves, and has there been a community or moment or experience that made you feel connected to your peers? And what were some challenges that have been faced in making connections? And have people been able to form connections with their new peers, and why not? And we interviewed about 50% of the Q3 new students. And really most students just agreed that they loved the help from the teachers, and not much mentioned really anything about their peers, but mostly just kind of how they love that their teachers have been helping them all throughout the school.
And overall, the theme with talking to all of the students was that they were feeling appreciated, supported, that they felt wanted. Their only issues with building connections between students was within themselves, either being shy, being anxious, being nervous, or just not really wanting to go out and talk to them. So our hope is to just bring in a mentorship type of situation.
Yep. So I'll let Trish talk about those next steps of the process.
Our next steps, like I was talking about, being the mentorship program, would be having, with our new students coming in for Q4, having students that have been here for a year or two, or that have just liked being in the school and have had really good experiences, just go around and kind of walk them through the school, walk them through their classes, get them talking to other students in class, talk to their teachers, just progress and move through the school so it's easier for them to make friends that they've already kind of talked to. So there's less of a barrier of, well, I've never talked to this person, I don't know if how this is gonna go. It's, oh, I know their name, I kind of know who they are, let's just go talk and say hi.
Okay. I think we're back on the main screen, hopefully, with the team.
You are.
Yeah. So that's kind of where we're at so far. I think when you guys were extracting the themes from the interviews, the kids just thought maybe a formalized orientation process, which we had years ago and got rid of, but just doing more student-based things instead of worrying about the relationships with the teachers, because those seem to be pretty good. So how can we get better?
Well, it's like with other high schools in our district, like bigger high schools. I went to Niwot before this, so most notably for me, Niwot. We had a orientation day, like our freshman year, on the first day, where seniors and juniors of the student body and StuCo would come walk us through all of our classes, would kind of help us engage with other, like all of our other peers, engage with our teachers, and just kind of show us around the school so we didn't get lost. And so we had those connections already sort of developed before stepping into school fully.
Okay, so are you guys ready for some comments and questions?
Maybe no, yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay, great job. Do we have some comments and or questions for our friends at New Meridian?
I would like to say, this is Ms. Hall from Barack Obama School of Career Tech Ed. I would like to say that I think it's great that it's student-led and that you actually are surveying them about their needs, and that a lot of needs, here it was a connection with teachers that was a challenge, and it's nice to see that you guys have a good connection. The students have a great connection with their teachers and things like that, because that's very powerful. That says something, and that the students just have maybe just as shy, you know.
Yeah, we definitely agree.
Thank
Tony has
you.
done an amazing job at picking all of our teachers, which definitely helped foster the connections. So.
Well, we would like to thank you.
I just have a comment, Linda, to add. Yep. So I think, what's great about what you're doing too is that, what we know is that, the best way to create connections between students is shared experiences, right? You have to have something to connect over. As you're saying, you don't want to force it and say like, connect, right? So I think, it's really cool you're, working with, talking to students themselves and getting from them, like what type of shared experiences can we create that would like give us just space to create those connections.
Thank you. Yeah. No, I think it's really important that we do try and allow the students to form their own connections, but give them the opportunities, because the opportunities are much more important than trying to shove it down their throat, because that's not going to do any good.
Yeah,
So.
definitely. And we all do have a lot of similarities coming from big high schools in the past, because pretty much all of us have come through a different high school in the district. So we all have a lot of similarities in that sense, where a lot of us have kind of been through something to make us switch.
We are going to be so looking forward to hearing how this continues to evolve and unfold and what some of those experiences might turn out to be. But we would like to thank you so much for sharing with us. And we're going to look forward, as I said, to hear more. And I would like to see who would like to be the next team that might like to share.
Hi, I'm Abby from Mountain Vista High School in Highlands Ranch, Colorado. This is Caleb, this is Carter, and we're part of the design team for this year. So we wanted to mainly attack the connection pathway aspect of this year's redesign conference. So first things first, we wanted to run a couple of interviews and surveys to basically know what the kids want to build connections. So we had one open-ended question where no one's names or no one's emails would be collected to make sure that we have that neutral connection. People don't have expectations and people can just talk freely about what makes them feel most connected. And we had a large sum of people who actually responded, and that was great because they all responded really relatively quickly, and we got 73 people who responded. And that was amazing, especially considering we only asked members of the GT community and at our school. So we put all of the answers down about what is coming up most often in this survey. And we have a little graph here that we used to mark it all down. So some of the main things that we heard were that a lot of people feel most connected when they're doing activities, spending time with friends, in small groups of people that they know, have shared interests, or shared emotions, are very comfortable with each other, and like having deep conversations when people are listening and sharing ideas. And we had a couple people say technology detox, things like that. And a couple of people also said being together at lunch or at Eagle Time. And Eagle Time is basically our unstructured time where people are able to study or do work or are able to leave the campus to do whatever they need to do before they have to go back. And we also had a couple of interviews and other things where we heard from people about what they wanted at the school. And we also ran a different survey, which was about what their favorite location was at the school currently and why. We got a couple of answers that were like the back of the hallways, because there's not a lot of teachers there. They can just kind of chill there and hang out with their friends. Not a lot of expectations there either. Also really nice open spaces where there's windows, and they're really good environments for kids to hang out in. And ultimately, we're trying to combine all these and also address a couple of problems that we've noticed at the school in our space that we want to design. So our school store was before we decided to start on this project, it was in a little area where there was a garage door over it. And we would open the garage door and sell our school store items out of that. That means like Mountain Vista merch, snacks, drinks, things like that, where it would be only open for some portion of the day so that students can buy whatever they wanted to. It was very hard because the space was kind of unwelcoming. It was kind of off in a corner where people couldn't really stay there for a long period of time. It wasn't really good for people to be there. So we wanted to redesign that space and make it so that people felt more welcome there. And also we wanted to address the problem of some students coming in late, a lot of times going to get coffee at Starbucks across the way, which unfortunately that was a really big problem. And we're hoping to address that later on. And we also had a teacher's lounge that was not being used. We wanted to use that space for something that's productive for both the students and teachers. So we still have that teacher's lounge area, but now we have a whole redesigned area where we call it Cliffs Cafe, where people can buy all of our school's merch, drinks, and now coffee. We're going to be selling coffee, things like that, where people don't have to leave campus. And all of these proceeds are going to go directly to our school's DECA business, which is like a business club.
And I'd say tying us back to like the redesign conference is we took all of the feedback and advice that we got from like our surveys and things, and our goal was to kind of make the cafe a safe place for students. The cafe is run by students and for students, right? So all the workers there are students, they're all student members. So it can really be kind of a safe place for students to kind of decompress and unwind after whatever day of school they're having. So students having a bad day or something like that can go to the cafe, and that can be a safe space for them. And we try to emulate that in things like our decorations and our lighting and all of that, those things. So really we try to make it feel as safe and comfortable for students to want to be in there as possible in order to kind of foster those connections between students.
And I'm going to share my screen here so that I can show you guys our progress so far on what we've done. So I'm going to share the entire screen. Share. Got grant access. Sorry, settings are a little bit weird.
Don't rush. It's okay.
Awesome. Later.
Press to share Chrome instead.
Share Chrome. Okay. Okay. Can you guys see my screen? Yep, awesome. Cool. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to make this awesome. So this is the initial space. This is the teacher's lounge. If I scroll over here, this is the little kitchenette area where teachers were able to get little snacks, and we had vending machines. We still have the vending machines, but they're now moved into a different space. We had a big table here. Most of the teachers did not use this space, so we wanted to redesign the area to make it more welcoming for teachers and students. So this is during the process of us remodeling it. We took all the furniture out. One of the challenges we ran into was trying to move these big vending machines. We had to call the Pepsi company, and that was a little bit of a hassle, but that's okay. We were able to work around it. This is us getting some of our furniture in. We got some new tables. Sorry to put in some more plants and things. And here's where we started putting in some of the things that we sell. Boxes are still unopened here. There's some sections over there to separate the teacher's lounge and the student Cliffs Cafe area. And as you can see, we have big windows to basically let out a lot of natural light. This is us making our menu. I think we backtracked a little bit here, but as we move forward, we can see the area starting to get more and more developed. We have a logo that we put next to the couches. It's starting to really develop into a more comfortable space that really adopts a lot of the things that people were talking about, what they liked in their favorite locations at the school. We started selling hot chocolates. That was a really big hot item that students really liked. Gum, mints, here's our merch area where people can buy it. This is the behind the counter area and in front of the counter as well. And we have a little hope wall where people can put really nice messages, develop those connections there. And we have cool logo sign, neon sign. This is for our Wish Week decorations. We team up with the Make-A-Wish Foundation every year and try to raise money for cancer research and not cancer research. We raise money for Make-A-Wish. And so we decorated it for our Wish kid this year. Her name is Carter and she's great. And yeah, so that's what our space looks like. I'm gonna stop sharing our screen real quick. Awesome. And yeah, so that's our ideas so far. We had a lot of cool things that we've done this year, and we have a lot of stuff in store for us as well.
And is your team ready for some comments and some questions?
Yep, we're totally ready.
All right, so let's open it up.
Again, this is Ms. Hall from Barack Obama. I love that you guys paired up with the DECA program and that it's run by students. And so students have a voice in that, and it's very clear to see that. It's very apparent. I love that. Power to the students.
Thank you so much. We really like having student involvement in there. It really makes it that much more special for everyone involved, and especially the kids here.
So is the store getting a lot more use now that it's in a new, improved, and more inviting location?
Oh, 100%. So we have a lot more customers recently, a lot of people who are really happy about this new space. They feel a lot more comfortable. We've had people even physically go up to us and say, we like this new school store so much. And it's been amazing because you can really see the impact of the work that you've done. And like, especially the research that where we're actually putting student input into it. It's really special.
So this is Ms. Harold from DuPont. I do like the idea of DECA. We had DECA when I was in high school as well. But I also like that you all paid attention to what the kids like to do, like drinking coffee, you know, making it convenient for them so that they're not late. They can be on time for school and in class learning and engaging with their peers as well at the same time.
Yeah, we really pride ourselves in being able to take all of those problems and sort of put it into one space where we're able to get a lot of people to go and really enjoy their time there, buy coffee, things like that. We're also solves a lot of problems at once.
I had the opportunity to meet with your team during the one-on-ones. That was just a few weeks ago. Can you believe that?
No.
Like in that and now, like what has emerged.
I know it's a lot.
Yeah, Wish Week is this week, so we're still currently decorated and celebrating our Wish Kid Carter. And all of the proceeds during Wish Week actually go to Make-A-Wish instead of DECA, just for this 1 week.
That's what I was gonna comment on, actually. I love that y'all have a Wish Kid. That is so precious. And are y'all, I don't know, what type of, are y'all a Title I school or
No.
No.
Okay, never mind. I was gonna say we are, but I still think it's awesome to like give our students like an opportunity to still feel like a hand in helping someone else. I think that's beautiful. I love the Wish Kid. That's awesome.
Wish Week is definitely the biggest thing we do. I think we are the single biggest organizational donor to Make-A-Wish Colorado. ever. We donate around $200,000 to $250,000 per year raised off of it. And Wish Week's overall just a really cool event. We grant like 20 to 30 wishes per year because not all of it goes to the one wish kid, but having the one wish kid is really cool. So this year she likes like science and stuff like that. So our dress outfits, we still have them with us around the table. Our like scientist coats for our dress up day today is like scientist coats and stuff. So we do a lot of really cool stuff with Wish Week, and it's a really good way to kind of integrate more community into the space we're
Yeah, I mean, that's really good because, one of the key tenets of connectedness is that you feel more connected when you think some of your school activities are actually helping other people and not just yourself. So
Exactly.
I'm sorry, I have to say something. I apologize. As a former principal, as a parent of a DECA kid, and just it just brings my heart warmth to just see you guys that you're going to have so much impact on the culture of your school. And it's such a way to include so many kids in ways that you can't even imagine at this point. But I will just do one shout out. My daughter benefits so much from this. And she actually worked on a team that's going to present a Super Bowl commercial this Sunday. So I can't share any more about that, but a lot of that is due to in large part to the school store. We called it the doghouse. And so it was, it's just been an amazing journey to watch how that benefits everybody involved. So hats off to you guys. Great job.
Thank you so much.
you.
That's awesome. It's really cool to see how other DECA kids are going out in Super Bowl commercial. That's really cool.
All right, well, we're gonna bring this one to a close, and we want to thank you guys. Great job, and we're looking forward to hearing more and seeing more in Washington, D.C. And what team might like to go next?
Go.
I missed.
Tamaya Robb, Gwinnett County Public Schools.
Hi, Tamaya.
Hi,
I'm gonna pin you. Okay.
Okay. I'm hoping you can see my screen. Can you?
Not yet. But take your time, don't rush. Oh, it's coming, I can tell. We can see it now.
Okay, perfect. So I am so sad that none of our students were able to make it today. So you're with me. I'm Tamaya Robb, and I'm from Gwinnett County Public Schools. I support from a district lens. And I want to just give you just a quick overview of our school system because we will be presenting from a school system lens. We are the largest employer in Gwinnett County, which is located in the state of Georgia. And we have 19 career technical and agricultural pathways that our students can engage in. And we have a total of 142 schools. Specifically, we have 7 academy schools or specialty schools, and we have a total of 24 high schools. And so one thing that we wanted to do is bring students from across our district to showcase what does that student advocacy look like. And so our focus for the design team, which consists of 4 different students, is the team will design a prototype that is going to showcase the student experience and showcase the student experience that collectively represents our entire ecosystem and opportunities within our school system. So CTAE courses, work-based learning, engagement opportunities, and what that looks like for post-secondary readiness as a pathway to adult success. And when you think about it, last year, Gwinnett County Public Schools had over 12,000 students graduate from one school system. And so what we want to share from a national level is what does education look like for our students outside of our 14 advanced placement programs, the different honors, but we have a total of 63 different career pathways that our students can engage in. The pictures that you're going to see on this presentation, these are actual students working within their pathways. So we're very excited about this opportunity. We're connecting it with the collective ecosystem in Gwinnett County Public Schools. And we also are connecting it with our community partners, looking at various opportunities that our students engage. So what does that mean? We're looking at a collaborative strategy. And when I say we, I know I'm here doing the talking, but it is not me. It is our 4 babies. They are doing the heavy lifting. They are doing all of the work, and it's their vision around, based off of their areas of expertise, what makes the learning in the classroom the best experience for them. So how is that academic agency, how are they exploring in their particular areas? And so what we did, we picked 4 students from various schools across our district looking at equity. Each student represents a different career pathway: manufacturing, healthcare, marketing and business, and agriculture. And what they're going to do is showcase how they can take a real world problem, and it's still in process, how they're going to take a real world problem that is happening right now and apply their pathways with that skilled application based off of what they are currently learning in their classroom. And so I'm very excited to be in the space with them, and I'm listening to the brainstorming, and they're building out their Google folders and brain dumping all their different ideas. But collectively, the showcase is going to be, as a GCPS student from these 4 schools, and these 2 schools are our academy schools, which our academy schools specialize in ensuring that we have pathway completion that leads to industry certification. And then we have a traditional high school, Archer High School. Archer High School specializes in agriculture from this lens. And then we have a specialty school, Maxwell High School, where it's live work happening. And what I mean by that, our student that is in manufacturing from Maxwell, they have welding there, and students are immediately engaged into almost a real live workforce environment. And so these students will bring in their expertise, because they are experts from a student lens, of how this has helped enrich their education, how they can apply it, and then how they can apply it to solve a real world problem based off of what they're most passionate about. Give you an idea, this gives just a visual of the design team. Our facilities are fully equipped with up-to-date equipment, up-to-date industry regulation, and supports based off of what's needed for each pathway. And then when you think about our partners, John is on here today, but it is myself from a district lens. We have a teacher leader from South Gwinnett, and then we have a really prestigious business partner from Peachtree Packaging that's helping support, just to help with the brain dumping and collaboration and supporting our students in this effort. So that's what we plan on showcasing. It's still a work in progress. I don't have anything else tangible for you, but that's the scope of the work that the students will be working on.
Tamia, thank you so very, very much for representing your team. Are you open to some questions and comments?
Yes, always.
What we got, folks? It's very, very exciting the way you guys have so much cross pollination vertically, horizontally, across, beyond school walls, beyond manufacturing walls. It's just amazing. And then to have actual student voices to lead with the academic agency opportunities that new legislation in your state is allowing. It's just like, it's amazing. That was my long comment.
This is Tony from New Meridian High School. I also have the luxury of being the principal of our CTE center. So I have 1,600 kids on that side of my building that access CTE pathway. So I just want to comment on, I just learned a lot from you about what other districts are doing and bridging these opportunities. And I just feel like it's not a comment on your presentation, but just more a comment on your school and your school district and the whole philosophical vision on, like, this is the right work to just provide students with access and opportunity and let them be the ones to make the decision for their future instead of predetermining successes. So I just get so excited when I know, our champions across the nation are continuing to dig in and do the right work. So I just wanted to say great job and thanks for sharing.
Thank you so much. Do you mind if I just share a little bit more as a snippet? If I can expand upon why Lauren Croft is involved, based off of what you just said, Lauren has opened up their facility. She's an HR director and our students are in her building facilitating. One of the students that will be at the showcase, she now works in HR, and she provides language acquisition classes to the Haitian employees at this facility because they were struggling with understanding English, that they could apply it to the workforce. Lauren also has opened up her facility to support our manufacturing students. Mr. John Green comes in from a collective community lens and creates opportunities of engagement. He ensures that we have the knowledge and awareness of different policies and procedures that are directly impacting our students. So the level of transparency and collaboration among our ecosystem, including our education in our district, it really works towards just moving the right work forward in our county. And that's what our students, I always want to call them our babies, but that is exactly what our babies will be showcasing in Washington.
I love that. Tamia, I wanted to just make a quick comment about, I think that it's going to be great data for you and the students and for the collective to see that piece that you talked about, equity, to see what does it look like from each school? Are we, are we all being set up for success? So that'll be some really great data. And it'll be interesting to see what the students do with that.
Thank you. John, you are technically a representative of our team. Did I leave anything out? Is there anything you'd like to add?
I think you captured. I will say, we're pretty early in what I consider a true comprehensive learning ecosystem, but we've got the willingness to do it, and I think we're fortunate in our state that there's a lot of partnering between the higher ed institutions from the University of Georgia to Georgia Tech. But then also your regional universities and colleges, and as well as the technical college system of Georgia. A lot of that's sort of the secret sauce in Georgia. A lot, and Governor Kemp wouldn't mind me telling you that. But the reality of it is we allow students to really gain credits and experience that really does prepare them, and that's and not just for a few kids. And so the thing that we struggle with, a lot of folks struggle, we went through a period of time with the everyone's got to go to college mindset. And so it's a mindset shift where, CTAE is not a default. CTAE is a choice that we want all our students to have, not just students who didn't choose to go to college. No, the kids, I had a guy tell me this the other day. He says, I was interviewing all these CTAE students and I just assumed they were going to work. He said, they told me they were going to MIT, Caltech, Georgia Tech, and they were going to study nuclear physics. I said, exactly. I said, learning and working are two things that you can do simultaneously. And so that's what we're trying to do here in Georgia.
We have time for one more comment or question. All right, well, thank you so much. And we're going to look forward to hearing from those students in Washington, D.C., as well as yourself and whoever else may be along for the ride. Who would like to go next? Monica, do you have your team? Do you guys want
Yes,
to?
I do have. I'll wait on Ms. Mosby McGee. She went in the hallway, but I'll start, and we can go next.
No, you don't have to be. You don't have to be.
Yeah, they're in the room with me, but the camera is facing my but I have Mr. Jackson. Our students were hit with a flu bug, so we don't have the students, and we have the assistant principal, Ms. Mosley. But we can get started. She can come in and chime in when she gets back. I am Monica Hall. I'm here with Mr. Jackson and Ms. Mosley McGee, our assistant principal here at Barack Obama School of Career Tech Ed. We're located in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And we decided to base our design on fostering connectedness with our students. At the beginning of the year, in November, we did a survey, an ABC survey that gauged our students' advocacy, belonging, and connectedness. And we found that, let me get the survey results here. The reason we focus on connectedness is because 75% of our students reported positive relationships with their peers and teamwork. but it was a weakness. We only had 25% of them who felt connected with the teachers. So we were like, whoa. And we found that the kids who, when we did some more data analysis, kind of digging deeper, kids who have been here more than 3 to 4 to 5 years plus, we scored very high in connected with those students, but students that were new to the school didn't feel connected at all. And so we were looking at ourselves and kind of did a second survey to say, like, what could we do about that to kind of gain some connectedness and connected feelings. And a lot of the students reported that the classes, I don't want to say they're transitioning, I'm sorry, were too academic. So the teachers are just really focused on delivering the curriculum, because we are a school in need of improvement. And so we're not kind of doing anything outside of that box, having those shared experiences with our students. So from that, we have developed clubs, academic clubs. So we're still kind of focusing on academics, but it's a smaller group of people. And so we did a second survey to kind of find out what clubs the kids wanted. So out of that we have some math explorer clubs, a STEM club. We also have a club that's going to focus on leadership that is led by the assistant principal. We have a community impact club, and Mr. Jackson runs the Young Entrepreneurship Club. And so kind of looking at ways to build experiences for our students so that they can feel more connected to the school. Because we are a small school, even though we are K-12, we're larger numbers, but the middle school portion and elementary, we only have one class per grade. So there's only one 6th grade class. So if you don't feel connected with that one 6th grade teacher, you got out of luck. So kind of, having our assistant principal actually run a club was her idea. So they won't just see her as a leader and a disciplinarian, but as a human being. And so she's running a leadership club where they're going to focus on problems that are faced within the school and our community, because we are in an urban setting. And so she's working with us. So no one has more than 10 students, and getting all of the paras, the assistant principals, the social workers, resource teachers, special ed teachers, everybody has a club and has a group. We've able to have it down to a 1 to 10 ratio kind of thing. And I think that's kind of powerful. And then it's connecting the students to one adult in the building, a trusted adult in the building. I think it's building more. So we're really anxious to see what these results, because 25%, I was shocked. I was like, this is very low. I felt that I was connected with people. But a lot of kids were like kind of neutral in areas, but we're trying to be more strategic in building those positive relationships and sharing our experiences. So the clubs are kind of based on what the kids needed and also the teacher's strength. So Mr. Jackson is an entrepreneur. So that's why he's running the Young Entrepreneurs Club. We have a teacher, a special ed resource teacher we have a lot of announcements in the afternoon, who does a lot with community service outside of the school building. And she's bringing that expertise into this setting. So Mr. Jackson and Ms. Mosley, y'all leave anything out? I'm kind of rambling.
Well, with the survey, when we created the survey, one of the ideas in my head is I wanted to know how the kids that we've had since K-5 and all the newcomers, how we can build connectedness. And we saw in the surveys from the result, the kids that we had over years, they were connected to us, but they were not connected to their peers. And then the newcomers, we get a ton of newcomers all the time. It's just the mobile. We find out the same thing, that they wasn't being connected to us, but also they weren't being connected to the peers. So we needed to come up with something that we could get them to work together to build more of a community.
And that's how we came up with these different groups. We all have different groups. We're going to meet with the students and we're going to present in Washington. And so hopefully our kids won't be sick, ill today. You know, we've had a lot of illness this past winter. So
some things are just not up to us, are they?
Right.
Beyond our control. Would you guys be up to entertaining comments and questions?
Yeah, we're up.
Okay.
Make a comment on how you did your data analysis. I think it's quite powerful when leaders can look and step back and internalize, okay, if there's not connectiveness in this particular population, what do we have to do? And as you were sharing, you were referencing the ownership on the adults and not the children or the demographic or the social or whatever it can be typically. And I think that's a powerful statement. And I think because of that, you will likely see the shift because it made me feel like there was a strong cultural foundation there. So whatever is happening within your culture and your climate, because there's so much intentionality around it, there is going to be that growth that you're seeking and the data will show that. So I just thought that was quite impressive and it really stood out to me.
And another thing that's really nice too is that we know, again, is how you build these connections through shared experience. It's what you're doing is like when you link up a teacher passion with a student passion.
Right.
And sometimes just crossing each other in the hall, they might never guess they have that shared passion. Right. And so that's by looking at both, what are the teachers' passions and which kids connect to it. It's just a nice way of sort of making that connection along that shared interest.
I think it's giving the kids the opportunity to see us more as like human beings and people and not just like, oh, the lady who teaches, Project Lead the Way has to stick to the Project Lead the Way curriculum. That's me. And it's giving the teachers an opportunity to use some of those creative skills that they have and like things that are not in your curriculum, but I would love to do this. Like our math teacher, she's doing a math leadership. So it's like, okay, she really has to stick to this very stern curriculum because we're a school in need of improvement. But on these club days, she gets to step outside of that and do more creative things with math.
Yeah, I would say also that it's really admirable that the staff to do the extra to have a club that's really, and I'm from MPS, Milwaukee Public Schools as well. And yeah, it can be pretty overwhelming what you have to do every day in the classroom and the things that you have to do. And so to do clubs and activities as well, that's really, really, really above and beyond. And I think the kids will feel more connected to you because of that.
Yeah, I would say too, I love the element of choice too for the students and keeping those group sizes down so that they can form, as much as possible, but form those connections, not only with that teacher, but with the adults. It kind of just creates that, I don't know, that environment of trust that not only do they have their teachers during the day, but now they have a new person that they see as an adult of trust and that they've made a formal connection with. So hopefully when they see people in the hall or get to be in their class, eventually they can see them in just different lights. I think it's so powerful that just students see teachers too in their passion areas.
This is Miss Mosley McGee, and one thing I want to come out of this is showing them what friendship is all about. That we're not like TikTok or Facebook have 100 followers, but to actually see
that human
connection of friendship, because I think a lot of our kids are lacking that.
All right, we have time for one last comment.
If I can,
Hi, my name is Gabriel. I'm a student here at DuPont. I just wanted to add on that we also do have clubs here, and I really like your club idea, and that I like how y'all get to socialize and y'all want to, engage with the students and stuff. I really like that idea.
Thank you so much for sharing that comment. I think we have one more team. Katie, am I right? Are we going to hear from your team today?
So it's just me today. They are on a field trip, which was part of our design process. But I can I can kind of throw out the Canva sort of thing they've thrown together, but it definitely needs some polishing. I was really impressed when I was looking at the other people's presentations. So
no comparing. Comparing is
Okay.
a thief of joy. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
None of that. Okay.
I know, I need more time. So our we were a little muddled at first in where we wanted to go with the connections and we kind of assumed that we wanted to do connections. But then it kind of melded into a building pathways because that kind of seemed a more natural fit for us. So, I should say, I'm the school social worker at Martin Luther King Jr. School in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. We are a kindergarten through 8th grade school. So we have 8th graders who are just chomping at the bit to be in high school. And so that's kind of why we decided to focus more on career and exploration and pathways to success. We are, how can I say, we have one class per grade. We have large classrooms. Sometimes we have up to 32 kids in a classroom. So it's very large. We have a high mobility rate. So some of the things we yeah, so anyway, our kids kind of our team, which is kind of fluid because we also have some transition with kids coming and going. So our team has gotten together and they surveyed the classroom on what they would like to see more of in the classroom, just to kind of get an idea. I can share the list of things that they gave to me. Let's see. So these are the ideas that they came up with. I don't know if I'm assuming you can see that. The little tabs next to each of their wishes is how many kids wished for that. And so it was a lot of things in regards to just having more space because we only have one class per grade. They wanted to switch classes. They felt more staff, less students. They felt our school should go up to 9th grade. There's some issues with the environment in our school. We had kind of decided to highlight a couple of things that we felt like we could work on, and one of them is kind of a little bit more freedom, more fun field trips, more activities, and more reading time. And I'm gonna stop sharing. And the way we decided to kind of incorporate more freedom, we have these, one of our experiments was to try to use the a room that we started decorating last year and the kids have kind of been working at it more diligently this year. I can share my screen again and show you. We call it the Zen Den. And so these are some of our students who have worked on decorating it. It's just one picture, but it kind of goes over to the side too, where we have couches and we have tables. And It's been underutilized because we are short on staff, and clearly a whole classroom cannot go in there. So the kids are working out a schedule where staff like paras and myself as a support staff can free up some time to take some kids down there and to just kind of make a schedule of. See, the big thing here is the kids have to be able to use it appropriately. And so we're kind of working on an experiment of how the kids can kind of police themselves so that the room is used, appropriately. And that we feel like is part of their building pathways to kind of being more mature adults. So these guys are 8th graders, and there's a lot of immaturity there. And so we are using that as kind of a petri dish or kind of experiment for how we can help them be more responsible, how they can use it for reading time. So one of the things that some of the kids had wished for was more quiet reading time. So so that would kind of blend into the exploring where they're going with their career. We did do vision boards as well about what they would like to see in their life, and we had discussions about that. And then we also had kind of a room design kind of thing. So what is it that you need in your room to learn better, to and just kind of, it was kind of an exercise in student voice, because that's one of the things that we kind of struggle with, because we, as adults here, we kind of take a strict handle on the kids and what they're doing. And we want them to be able to go on to high school to be more independent and more just understand what their goals are. So the reason the kids aren't here today is one of the things they wanted was some more fun field trips. And so we've been doing, people from the medical college have been coming all year to do, just to explain to kids what they do in the orthopedic department. And we have a bunch of people come in and show them how to, bandage and what they do for surgery and how the bones work and all that kind of stuff. And so the kids really enjoyed that. And so they wanted more of that. And so we had an opportunity to go to another setting where we could be exposed, where the kids could be exposed to more hands-on careers like welding and carpentry and plumbing. So for the past 3 days, they've been visiting those places. And so when we come back, we're going to kind of gather together in our Zen den and figure out, more pathways to success. So yeah, it's a little bit of both, the kind of getting some connection by using the Zen den, but also kind of where do you want to go, in your future, and how can you have more activities to just to kind of foster that beginning of adulthood, because they're kind of stuck in this sort of tense place between adults always here guiding what they're doing and that sudden freedom that they're going to get in high school, because we're only 300 kids here, and they're going to be going to mostly high schools with 1,000 kids and switching classrooms all the time. They don't switch classrooms at all. They stay in the same classroom all day. And sorry, that's actually the teacher pinging me with photos of where they're at. So yeah, I mean, it needs some kind of fine tuning, but I think we're working on that student voice. I think that's kind of our big challenge, is they want a lot And they come up with a lot of like, oh, we want this in our room and this in our room, and we want to go this place and this fun place. But yet they kind of struggle with the behavior part of it and the finishing, following through part of it. So yeah.
Thank you, Katie, for sharing where we appreciate it. And we hope the kids are enjoying their field trip. And it seems like you said, when they come back together, maybe some winnowing, right? Like to kind of zero in. But for sure, one thing that I would offer is, it sounds like there would be a great opportunity there for some intergenerational dialogue, right? Just about our perceptions, what one generation's perception is of another generation, and how that might play out into things like what people see as behavior, what some people see as rewards, that whole thing, right? Like there's just totally different worldviews now. So just the idea of where that might, around the idea of even use of the Zenden, could become your whole area of focus that could lead to some real powerful opportunities.
Yeah, I would love suggestions. I think our thoughts now are working on kind of the leadership part of how they will use the Zenden, because that's kind of the staff concern, is that it will be misused and that there aren't enough staff to kind of supervise, because all those rooms need supervision when they're in there. So, but yeah, leadership, and if they were to take a role in guiding the other kids into using it, and using it in a way that's kind of conducive to their growth, yeah, that would be very powerful.
Any comments or questions for Katie and her team at Martin Luther King in Milwaukee?
I just think it's powerful when students have a voice, and they do want a lot. They have this master list of demands, but I think you're going about it in a very strategic way to kind of meet their demands. We also have a Zenden that we have a problem with sometimes staffing, and so I really felt your pain in that, because you really want to have that space, but it has to be supervised. It has to be manned by an adult, and sometimes as adults, we're pulled so many different spaces. So I just commend you for trying, to have that still.
We have time for one or two more questions or comments, and then I'm going to turn it over to Greg.
Katie, I appreciate your honesty and your integrity in the journey, and just your resilience and perseverance with your kiddos. Just, activities that you've engaged with your students. It's pretty incredible just to actually see the Zen room, the Zen Den coming to life, and to see, and just to even hear about the experiences and why your students aren't in the room today, that they're actually learning about those new pathways. And we've heard it, right? Multiple presentations today, not just about college. John mentioned it about the CTAE, right? And your kiddos are seeing carpentry and welding and things like that. And so I just commend you for listening to your kiddos, and for just continuing to be there and being that strong, supportive person in their life with all that you do at school. So thanks, Katie, for that.
Thank you, Jerry. And on that note, we're going to turn it right over to Greg, who's going to help us know what we need to do between now and when we see you in DC, because it'll come here before we know it. Greg? Greg, I don't think we can hear you.
Can you hear me? Wanted to say great job to everybody. Your presentations are awesome. With each meeting that we are going through today, I get more and more excited for April 1st to be here. What I'm going to do right now is just let you know that we have a exhibitor information page up live on our website that contains all the information in one place about registration if you need to still, the location, the links embedded are maps, Google Maps, so you can get a feel of where it is, where you are, the schedule, and you can download the full schedule, some information about travel and lodging to go with your email that Linda sent you. What I'm going to speak to are the materials that we're going to provide to you, the Everyone Graduate Center going to provide to each team. We'll have a table and you'll have a sign that we produce that will sit on your table that has your school logo and the name of your school. And on this page, it tells you to please email me and gives you my address, your school logo and image of your school logo, and just let me know exactly how you want your school name to appear. And I'll put it all together, take care of the printing of it for you. It'll be there when you arrive on the 31st. In addition, we can also provide additional printed materials in the form of mounted poster board posters printed. From whatever you create, you and your team get together and use all that fabulous creativity you have and create tabletop posters for your table to display what you want to do. If you have other online things that you'd like people to look at and you'd like a QR code, you could put those things on there. Whatever you want to do. We have them in two sizes. One is 24 by 36, the usual large size poster board. You can have two of those printed and one 18 by 24. All will come with easels that you can just set right on your table, put your table together. If you and your team would like some information, that we've included some sample posters from last year that you can take a look at, see how they put together some posters and do it yourself as well. Excuse me, I am losing my voice here. Here, there's just let you know what the requirements are, that for each poster, a PDF file, and in your PDF file name, just let me know which school you are so I can make sure and get everything printed up right. And your deadline is March 7th to get your materials uploaded. There's a link here to the Google Drive. There's also a QR code from another if you want to do it from a tablet or a phone, if that's how you're going to upload it for your, this is for the printed materials. You can also upload your logo if you wish there too, but I'd rather have that come through the email because you'll give me the exact spelling of your school name. And then finally, we're asking each team to pull together a little introductory video of your team and your team members and from your school. We did it last year. It was very enjoyable. Everybody had great time doing it. There were some awesome videos that came through. So again, get on your phone or your tablet. Hi, I'm Greg Howell from Everyone Graduate Center, and this is Linda and that type of thing. And again, links to the Google Drive to upload your videos as well. Short, 2-3 minutes at the most. And again, my email is spread out through here. If you have any questions of any type, variety for the videos or the printed, the printed items, whatever you might have questions too. And of course, if you've got a question right now, I'm more than happy to answer them for you. And I'm going to put the link to that page that I just showed you. I'm popping it right in the chat right now.
So open to questions, comments, concerns, complaints. This is actually the last time we'll see each other before DC, so feel free to ask away. Well, thank you for coming. Thank you for sharing with each other. We'll be excited to see how things unfold. If you need us, don't hesitate to reach out. Thanks for everything you're doing to make us all have generative environments and treat each other like humans.